senator in the state of Delaware. Everything about. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
What the fuck does roaches have to be?
And I love kids jumping on my lap.
Hey, yeah.
And I tell you what, the guys I work with down here.
I love roaches, as you pointed out. What are we talking about? Is he calling? And then he says how much he enjoys having children jump on his lap. You know, enough said.
Leg down.
I hope nothing bad comes up in my history on the screen record, if you know what I'm saying. You ready? I got the recording going.
Oh, recording?
Yes, sir. What do you want to start doing, like some type of funky intro, or what do we do here?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an example. What's up, freak bitches?
What?
You can't beat that. That used to be Joe Rogan's.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Rogan, huh? Wow, what a story. Coming out the gates, huh? Coming out the gates. I never got a chance to watch his apology video. Did you watch the whole thing?
Which one?
I don't know. I saw I saw an 11-minute video the other day.
So he did one where he's like outside?
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of anyway. I didn't even know he did multiple ones, to be honest.
Okay. I mean, people called that an apology, but it was more like he kind of apologized, I guess. Mostly he just said, like, you know, he could do a better job of having the different opinion doctors come on like right after. So that way people could compare it, I guess. But he also said, like, you know, he didn't really expect the podcast to turn into what it is anyway. And he went through and explained how, you know, you can call the doctor with a PhD from Harvard, Stanford, whatever it is.
A pretty huge dick?
Yeah.
I already said this the other day.
You can call that person misinformation. But then he also quoted, like, what's her name on, what's the lady with the short haircut? Rachel Maddow.
Right.
Like 6 months ago or a year ago when the vaccines were first coming out, she was saying how, you know, the virus now can't jump. If you're vaccinated, you can't get it and have it jump to somebody else because you won't get to contract the virus, and then you can't spread the virus. And that is obviously blatantly untrue. So that was misinformation, but it was CNN. So that's okay. And he says that in the video, like, I think he used that example, and he used another one, like with the masks. At first, the masks, they said didn't work. And apparently they did that so that people wouldn't buy all of them. Now we've been living where you got to wear a mask or whatever for over a year. And now they finally come out and CDC says, oh, cloth masks are a security theater.
So but what does any of that have to do with an apology?
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't really apologizing in the first one. He just addressed the situation, how people were, you know, because like Neil Young, making a big deal about how he's going to leave Spotify, thinking that they're going to give up Joe Rogan for Neil Young. So he finally came out, addressed it. He even, like, in the video, he tells a Neil Young story and says he's still a fan of Neil Young, even though the guy is saying that, like, he is pulling his music if they don't pull Joe Rogan.
That's such a Rogan move. Like, like, even though someone's going against him, he's like, I'm still a fan.
Oh, yeah. No, it's great. He took the high road, you know? But then there's an actual apology video because did you see the one the compilation of him saying the N-word?
No, I thought it was just one specific podcast that someone dug up, but it was like an actual compilation.
If you watch the video, it's bad, dude. They bleep it out every time. but there's a lot. There's a lot of them. He said
Interesting.
it, but some of them are like back when he didn't even have a studio.
So,
I don't know if that makes it better.
so
but
yeah.
it's just like really old, you know.
Yeah, but
Um,
so again, I didn't watch any. Do they give you context, or is it just like N? Like, is it just like a quick compilation?
there's no context. That's the problem, and he does address that in the video.
Not that
He
there's really a great context, but like we talked about this off the air. But and if he was
Well, there's not a great context, but I disagree that the context doesn't matter.
right,
That's not what you're saying, but that's, people say that, oh, with that word, the context doesn't matter. You should never say it. If that was the case, how would anybody know what the fucking word is?
right,
Like I was saying the other day, like if you're trying to teach a kid, like, because that with Whoopi too, that's the same thing. They were talking about that. Like the kids are uncomfortable reading the N word in these books. Okay. First of all, you're supposed to be uncomfortable. That's the point of the book. That's literally part of the point of the story and why they use the language in there. So that kids understand it was a different time and it was wrong what these people were saying and doing. The context of it, Because if you're trying to explain to a kid, okay, you can't say a word. Well, what word? The N word. Well, what's the N word? Well, I can't say it. But how do I know what word not to use? Well, just try not to use words that start with N. And hopefully you never say it. That's a ridiculous comparison, I know. But at the same time, it's like, if you're using the word to say it's a bad thing, why is that bad? How is that racist? I didn't go back and like watch the episodes where he actually says it, so I don't know. But what Joe Rogan was saying with the context is like he was never calling anyone the N-word. He wasn't
he was either he was either like repeating it or
or when they were discussing, because he talks about everything on the podcast, when they were discussing the N-word, and he even says this in the video, instead of saying the N-word, he would say the word.
Right.
In the context of the discussion of the word,
I've definitely heard him say it before on like podcasts that I listened to in the past couple of years, because I've probably been listening to him for like, I don't know, 6 years now, 5 years now, and I've definitely heard him say it before. But it was never one of those things when I heard him say it, like it was like, oh, he just used it. Like it was the context was always him talking about it being a bad thing, essentially.
Yeah, that's the problem, is like that is how he was using it. And he says that in the video, but he also does apologize, because he even says like, anytime that you have to come out and say I'm not racist, you fucked up. It's just true. So he says like, I fucked up. But in the same breath, I don't know, like again, if you're listening to it, like you said, you never heard it. And again, I never listened to like the earlier ones. There was a couple clips where there's no context, but they are like laughing in the clip. So I don't know what, he was saying exactly. But the majority of it, I'm pretty sure, is just him either quoting somebody or, again, saying the word, but not using the word, like not using it at somebody. He's not calling anybody the N-word,
Yeah.
So what is the point? Like, you just can't say the word at all? Is that where we are? That one is so bad that you just can't say it? Like, if you ask me right now, like, what's a racial slur for a Jew? I'd say, you shouldn't call them that.
Uh-oh.
Am I going to be,
you
like,
might. You just pull the Rogan.
You cancel Yikers Island now because I said...
Hey, don't bring me into this. Don't bring me into this.
I said you shouldn't call anybody that, especially Jewish people. That is a racial slur towards Jews. But you have to know what the word is.
In order to not use it.
Huh?
In order to not use it.
In order to not use it, yeah. No, come on.
Like, that's just a weird thing to think about.
It doesn't make sense.
You're
you can rap along to, I don't know, any rap song. And I get it. Like, white people are supposed to self-edit when they're singing those songs. And it's not even just black people. Like, I see,
I think that's worse. I honestly think, and I could be, I don't know, I could be wrong. I mean, I guess it's just an opinion there. I can't really be wrong or right. I honestly think that's worse. Like, if you're rapping a song or singing a song and it has that in there, if you say that, I honestly think that's worse than how Rogan used it most of the time. Like, because most of the time Rogan is using it to prove how that word is bad. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I actually think it's worse if you're casually using it. to just
Well, definitely if
describe.
you're just like saying it casually.
No, but I mean, even in the context of a song or something, I almost think that's worse in a way.
Well, that's like a hairy one too, because there's a great video. I don't know if you've ever seen Kendrick Lamar at a concert, and the crowd is like so many white kids, and it's a lot of people. Obviously, it's a big show.
Oh, he
And
brings the
they're
kid on
doing
stage, right?
He brings a white girl on stage, and it's that song. Yeah, man, dog.
Yeah.
You know that song?
Yeah.
And he brings a white girl on stage, and he's like, "All right, you sing it." And so she does, and she says it, and then everybody like it became like a whole thing, and he's like kind of shitting on this girl for saying it. And I actually felt kind of bad for her because she's just enjoying the music. She's rapping along to a song she likes. It's a shitload of white people at his show, which he's generating money from. And then she gets back in the crowd. He starts playing the song again, and there's thousands of white kids there, all rapping along, saying it. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I get it. White people shouldn't use. First of all, there's no R. There's no hard R, which is like kind of a different version of the word, right? At this point, there's a difference between, that's like a joke. Like, don't say the hard R. But then at what point are you allowed to like enjoy the music and sing along? Is Kendrick Lamar's music only for Black people? Is that what he meant? Or like, am I allowed to hear him say it? I just can't repeat it. It's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. And then like what we were just talking about, where are we? How dumb are we if we're saying, you just can't say it? Well, what is the word? No, we can't use
No.
it ever.
What is the word?
You know what that makes me think of? Harry fucking Potter.
Why Harry Potter?
Because in like, throughout the movies, but in the first one especially, you're not supposed to say Voldemort's name. Because Harry says it, and everybody in the town is like, we don't say that name. You never speak that name. And then throughout the story of it, Harry is always like, I'm not afraid to say his name because, it is what it is. Like, it just reminds me of that because it's like, well, it's a fictional world we're living in then. You can't say the word at all, even in the context of like, listen, you should. Now, I understand if you're joking around like, hey, buddy, you can never say this word, being a dick, like trying to use it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As an excuse. But overall, if you have somebody who is expressing why the word is bad, then you should be able to say the word. Especially in the context of historical books, which go into all that stuff and use the language because it demonstrates why the word is bad and how shitty people really were towards Black people, especially white people, calling them that, treating them like they were less because of it. Like, you ever seen the movie Blazing Saddles with Mel Brooks?
I don't think so.
So that movie, they use it a lot. And it's satire. Like, the premise of the movie, there's a Black sheriff comes into the town. And this is like, I think it's supposed to be like in California where they're building the railroad or something. I don't know. I forget. But, it's the time period where there's a lot of racism still. And a Black sheriff comes into town. And they're making fun of the way how dumb, because like the Black sheriff is the smartest person in the town pretty much. So he's like easily fooling all these white people who want to kill him because he came in and took over as a sheriff. And they say the word a bunch because that is accurate. That is how people spoke. And they're making fun of the white people who truly felt that way about Black people, like how ridiculous it is. How ridiculous it is that these people are all riled up when they're really the idiots, just because this Black guy is the sheriff. So anyway, and I think that was from the 70s. Let me look it up. So we've gone backwards, I think, because this is like after civil rights movement, they're making fun of it. And people are kind of like over it. Like, okay, this is how dumb we were. So we've all moved on. You're never going to get everybody to not be racist. But overall, as a culture, we've accepted like that's not okay. It's really, 1974 was made. And now we've gotten to the point where you can't say it at all. Like, there's a bunch of famous Black actors in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we definitely are. We're definitely going backwards with I don't even know. I mean, social media is making us go backwards, I think.
I think so too. Yeah. It's crazy. now you can't talk about it at all. Like, we went from, remember we were like kids and it was like, I don't see color. People who didn't want to come off as racist would be like, I don't see color.
Right.
You know? And now that's racist to say, apparently.
Right. Because you're not acknowledging
yeah,
their color.
Yeah, I get it. You're black. Okay. I'm white. Well, really, I'm like a pinkish hue. You know, no one's white, no one's black.
Jackman?
Okay. Anyway. Enough of the race shit. I just thought it was funny.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was trying to come up with some type of little song and dance we could do at the beginning of the pod or something, and you had right away brought up Rogan, which I figured we'd have to talk about at some point anyway. You know? Yeah,
no, it was a good intro, I guess.
But we should do some type of thing where it's like I don't know why I always think of the Law and Order like sound, like the yeah, and then it'd just be like a different voice, like a voiceover. Mo and Mo. Attorneys at Law.
Yeah,
at Raw, and then they say Raw.
In the jurisdiction of blah blah blah, it is illegal to right. There's some like
maybe we could do a play off of Law and Order or something. I mean, we could record it ourselves too, and then just overlay it every time.
We should do that. We start the episode off picking a new person who like either got canceled or got in some hot shit, and we'll be the judge and jury. Okay. Like Rogan. Like we even do like a whole voiceover with it, like in Law and Order. Like Joe Rogan found guilty if accused of being racist.
We'd have to like literally write scripts then.
Yeah, that's fun.
For the beginning, anyway. I would do that.
Oh, I would. Yeah, I'll definitely have some fun trying to come up with something.
Okay, I have to get the Law and Order sound on my soundboard then, and then we could just do it live.
Yeah. Yeah, read it off. It'll be a new person each week.
Isn't that the song?
Well, kind of. It's like dum 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 dum.
Yeah.
And there's like a flute or something like. That probably sounds horrible on the microphone.
I'm hearing myself. Oh, no, I'm not. I heard myself.
My God.
No, I heard myself echo for a second, but now we're good. What else were we gonna talk about? Oh, you want me to pull up the videos?
Yeah, we should get some context. We talked about this video on the last two episodes. I personally thought everybody had seen it, so I didn't think that it would be relevant to really show it. But after speaking to you and a bunch of other people, they'd never even seen it. I thought it was like really popular at the time.
Dude, that video was from mad long ago. I thought it was from more recently. It was from like 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, well, it's from when he was on the campaign trail, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. I thought they said something about vice president. Actually, that would have been longer than 2 or 3 years ago, obviously. But they must have said former vice president.
Yeah, and he still had that title until he became president, you know.
Right.
Like the president, you still call Obama President Obama.
Right. All right, hang on. Let me pull it up.
I guess, you know, it just hasn't been as popular to shit on Joe Biden as somebody else.
All right. So it's if you haven't heard us talk about this Cornpop thing, go back to our last episode.
I learned a lot. And I learned that...
Pause it, Matt.
I paused it.
Start it over. I want to do an introduction.
Okay, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the President of these United States, Joe Biden.
I learned that it makes a difference. This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and there weren't allowed to, there was a 3-meter board. And if you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Cornpop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off. Well, he came off, and he said, I'll meet you outside. My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate.
Dude, he's all over the place.
And the way
What is he
he
talking
starts
about?
specifically describing like the landscape and area
Yeah.
of where everything was, he's like the diving board, that's a 3-meter diving board, the darn cement.
Is that just him trying to get away from that Cornpop thing? Is that why he's going on about random shit?
So originally,
Or is he just delusional
the first time I saw
then,
the
too?
video, huh?
Or is he just like, did he have dementia then too? I said delusional. I meant, did he have dementia?
No,
then?
this is dementia, Joe. Yeah. The first time I saw this video, it was clipped right there, and it jumped to the kids part, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Am I supposed to play the whole thing out?
Yeah, let it ride. I mean, let this guy bumble. This is the president. This is the president a few years ago. He's gotten worse.
Yeah, way worse, which is scary. You want me to play it?
Yeah.
And he said, I'll be waiting for you. He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke. There was a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic. And I said, what am I going to do? He said, come down here in the basement where mechanics, where all the pool filter is. You know the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up, he said, you walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, you may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head. I said, you kidding me? He said, no, if you don't come back. And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And they had, those days, you used to remember the straight razor, you'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty.
No.
Remember?
And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all,
then
I
he
said,
was.
when I tell you get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you.
Wait a minute.
I apologize
Hang
for
on,
that.
I'll pause this.
I-
We have to make that a sound bite. I was smart then.
Do it.
apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, you apologize to me? I said, I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said. He said, okay, close the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again. I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker I saw that made me aware when I was in law school. Proudly for Holloway.
Actually, let's
Proudly
pause.
for your
Let's
dad.
pause
First
before we get
African-American state.
this excellent transition we're about to go into. First of all, that's Joe Biden's favorite race war story that he experienced, making sure he points out the only other white guy gave him a chain to go fight the black gentlemen who were at the pool, Cornpop, a bad dude. Sound familiar? Remember the bad hombres?
Yeah.
But his transition here is excellent. For those who are listening, you're just about to find out how Joe Biden feels about children and on his lap, touching his legs. He's a big fan.
And he told the kids to come up there in the beginning of the video, which we didn't even show.
Oh, yeah,
Which
they're
I-
all standing behind
Which
him.
I thought
They're
was
out.
weird. They were all like playing at the pool, and he's like, "Come up here, make me look good in this video." That's what that was. I mean,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on. They don't want to be up there. Look at them.
Senator in the state of Delaware. Everything about. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on
What
my
the
lap.
fuck does roaches have to be?
And I
do with
love
anything?
kids jumping on my lap.
Hey,
And I tell you what,
Hold
the
on.
men,
Can we play that
men,
back?
the guys I work with down here.
I love roaches, as you pointed out. What
What?
are we talking about? Is he calling
the kids
black
roaches.
children roaches?
Yeah.
That's who he's referring to, by the way, the black children at the swimming pool. And then he says how much he enjoys having children jump on his lap.
Yeah.
You know, enough said.
Leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
Wait a minute. Is the hair standing up on him because he likes it? Like, what is that supposed to
said
mean?
that-
Like he's getting
Yeah,
goosebumps
what?
from the kids on his lap?
He likes them rubbing the leg hair so it stands up.
Yo, what the
What else is standing up, huh?
Yeah.
And I love kids jumping on my lap.
Got to clip that
And I
too.
tell
Or
you
that,
what,
yeah.
I
the
love
men,
kids jumping on
they're
my
not
lap.
all men. The guys I work with down here, and they're
Yeah,
all
that-
guys at the
that's
time.
best bit.
They're all good men. Most of them made an awful lot of themselves.
A what?
A,
What
lo-
did
a
you just say?
lawful lot of themselves.
Oh,
You
my
think he was trying to
God.
say an awful lot of themselves? Like they made a lot of themselves?
Honestly, we should just do a Biden clip of the week. There's so many.
I know. It really is.
You can go back to
You
like
could clip.
the 70s.
You could clip like 7 different things from. Well, actually, more than that from that video. From just the 2 little the 2 little snippets that we watched of it too. That video is 14 minutes long. We watched like 2 minutes of it.
And by the way, it doesn't get more coherent. It's just more boring. You can't beat Cornpop and the kids jumping on his lap.
He needs like a translator, bro. And again, that was how long ago was that video? Let's see.
Probably
That was 2
2019.
years ago, almost. No,
2019,
no, over
2019.
almost 3 years ago. 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago it was,
That's our president, baby.
and he
That's my
couldn't even
president.
talk then.
God bless America, huh?
Cornpop was
Well,
a
it's
bad
good too,
dude.
because like he is the guy who talks to like Putin, Kim Jong Un, Xi Jinping.
That's not scary.
So I'm sure he's doing a great job. I'm sure they love to hear about Cornpop and how hairy his legs are.
Is that where Joe Biden's from? Wilmington?
I think so.
Is that
yeah.
Delaware or
I
North
know he's
Carolina?
from Delaware. Yeah.
Oh, it is
And
Delaware.
yeah, he said he was like younger being a lifeguard there. That was the whole context of the story. But
Right. I sort of got that from that clip. Sort of. It's kind of hard to read in between the lines with him.
man, if I was a parent of one of those kids back when Joe was a lifeguard, I'd have some serious questions. What was going on at that pool? Also, it's called an equipment room, Joe. Like, yes, the pool equipment. When he starts talking about, he brought me to the basement. Yeah, where the pool filter. That shit cracks me up.
It's fucking crazy.
We should do it. We'll do it next episode. We'll follow up so no one thinks we're being too biased here. Me and Matt were just talking recently, or I was sharing with him how funny I've found it now. Snippets from our former commander-in-chief, the Don himself, Orange Man. I love to go back and rewatch some of those. So we should pull one of those up for the next week.
Yeah, we can.
And we'll do a little it's not to be outdone. I mean, Trump has way more better sound bits than Biden. Because Biden sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Trump does too, but you can tell it's more intentional. Like he means it, you know?
Biden sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's nice of you to say. I don't even think Biden knows where he is half the time.
No, I think that's why people excuse it. They're always like, "Oh, he's like your sleepy grandpa, sleepy uncle." It's like,
But he's the president. So.
but he's the president, yeah, and he's like the sleepy, creepy uncle who likes to touch children. So that's not even like cute, you know?
Yeah.
He likes kids.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't like to touch them. He likes to put them on his lap and make the hair stand up.
Yeah. And jump. He said jump. I love them jumping on my lap.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
Weird, man.
Strange.
It's really not
time.
funny if you think about it.
No. Well, yeah, you gotta laugh at it because you can't do anything about it, you know.
I gotta laugh at it because we voted him in.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm not taking any credit for that. Okay, I did not vote for Joe Biden.
I meant we as a country.
What do you think? We're united here. We got a united front. We, not my president. I'm just kidding. Should have been Kanye. I think we should have just fucking wrote it out with Kanye.
Oh, speaking of Kanye, did you see he's
Should've
spreading a
won with
rumor about Pete Davidson now?
Yeah, like he has like
He has AIDS.
herpes or something or
No,
AIDS.
AIDS.
I love how he really set the bar there, like no one to believe him. If he had said like herpes or something, it'd be like, oh, I wonder. AIDS, like full blown, not even HIV.
Does AIDS even still exist?
Yes, AIDS still
Oh,
exists.
okay. I thought it like didn't. Magic Johnson's still alive.
Huh?
Magic Johnson's still alive. Actually, Kanye has a song about
Magic Johnson got a cure for AIDS.
Yeah.
And all the broke motherfuckers passed away. You telling me if my grandma was in the NBA right now, she'd be okay. Sorry, I had to finish it.
That's right.
Roses, for those wondering.
It's off a late registration, right?
That or college dropout. Let's find out. Let's give Kanye a little little positive PR here, huh?
Oh, there's that new. Have you watched the new season of Always Sunny?
Yes. Yeah.
So there's that episode where they're talking about the like they keep talking about referencing the election and our guy, they didn't give him a fair shake, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna watch it, if you're still planning on watching it, spoiler alert, but the whole time you think they're talking about Trump, but it comes out at the end of the episode, they're like, oh no, they're like, yo, your guy, you obviously mean Trump, right? And they're like, no, talk about Kanye.
I know, that was so great.
That was such a good twist. I love a good twist,
And then the video where they have them at all the events shopped in.
Oh yeah. The Capitol,
the insurrection, all that good stuff.
The insurrection.
Yeah, the whole Capitol riot. That's what they call it, the insurrection.
Right.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say about Kanye? Pete Davidson has AIDS.
I love Kanye. I was joking about him being president, but he's still one of my favorites of all time musically.
I think I referenced on an episode with you that we were talking about how fucked up Savino's name was.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive his middle name is David. That's almost more weird.
Savino David Ignorella.
That's almost more weird. That it's like a normal.
Is that even Italian?
Middle of the road.
David's just white, I guess.
No, he's not Italian.
Not even white. Huh?
I don't even think he's Italian. I think I was kidding around when I said that.
Savino's Italian, bro.
Is he?
Savino Ignorello, yes, he's full blown Italian. Well, no, his mom's
like Guatemalan or something.
Yeah, I think it's his dad's Italian, his mom is Guatemalan or some.
We talk about Savino quite a lot in the podcast.
Latinx, Latinx, as the kids say.
the kids that love jumping on your lap.
Yeah, you got to be politically correct. Come on, Latinx.
But I don't know. I just thought that was funny that his middle name. I'm pretty sure his middle name is David. I'll text him.
Yeah, you do that. Find out the mystery here.
All right, hopefully we get an answer to that. That's another thing I wanted to talk about.
What?
You are a single man.
I am.
Roaming the internet.
Where is this going?
No, I just wanted to talk about the dating apps a little bit because I thought that was funny how we talked about. Actually, the way it got brought up was because I was talking about the how we got to get you back on Instagram, like for your personal page, so that you can interact with the podcast page and shit. And then
I know where you're going.
Yes, and then you had said that on dating apps, girls think it's bad weird that you don't have an Instagram.
They do, which I think is crazy. I think it's crazy.
The way that our society is right now, I see where they're coming from though. But it sounds crazy. It does sound crazy. Yeah. In reality, it's crazy. Like, oh, you think I'm? Go ahead and just like tell this like the.
Well, no, you're right. Like in reality, it depends how you look at it, right? Because everything's crazy in reality right now. I mean, that's the fucking president. The guy that you just heard is literally the president. So just taking it from there.
That's our point of reference.
There's people who spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars to have a virtual reality real estate next to Snoop Dogg. Like, this is the world we live in now. So I get it. Maybe I am the weird one, but I don't have any social media. I haven't had Instagram since like 2014, I think. I deleted it when I moved out here. I probably had it back for like a year or something and deleted it again. I don't have Twitter. I don't have, the TikTok. I don't have the TikTok.
The TikTok? Are we in Always Sunny again? The email? I don't do the email.
I don't do the web, man. The World Wide Web. No, I don't do any of the social media. I think it's the most unhealthy thing that's ever come upon society. I think it has led us to where we are with the craziness. But since everybody else, like literally almost everybody else, is living in that world, I guess at this point now I am the crazier, weirder one because I'm not a part of it. I just haven't changed my stance. Maybe I'll get one. But yeah, on the dating apps like that, there's been several occasions where I match with somebody, and that's the first thing they want. They're like, "Well, you don't have your Instagram link?" I said, "That's because I don't have one." And that's weird. That's weird. Why don't you have Instagram? I'm like, well, I don't really take a lot of pictures. I am genuinely bad at taking pictures. Like I always forget. People always want to see pictures of my dogs. I always forget to take them because it's weird. Like when I'm doing something or in a moment, I just kind of embrace it and like live in what's going on and happening. And I forget that I need to record it and take a picture so that everyone else who knows me can understand and know exactly what I was doing, who I was doing it with. Like, I guess they need to see, what did I eat for breakfast? Did I make it myself? Did I take a really good picture of my coffee? Did I do like a little swirl in the cup or something?
What's
like
fun?
Everybody's a fucking chef now and a professional photographer.
Wait, say that last part again.
What?
About the swirl?
A little swirl in the coffee,
That's funny because I've been literally sending pictures to people because I just got an espresso maker.
Oh my god!
And I've been so proud of that fucking thing. So I've been sending Snapchats to people of like me making an M or like a C for Chelsea.
Can you do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's all I can do is letters basically. I can't do like the little tree heart looking things.
Yeah, I've never tried. I don't actually put cream or anything in my coffee. I drink it black. But just an example. So yeah, I mean, I've gotten multiple people who, and that was the end of the conversation when I said I didn't have it. It wasn't even really a discussion about it. And I was like, I don't know, like I think it's weird that you think it's weird that you need to see my entire life. And they're like, well, you could be a serial killer. Like you could be X, Y, and Z. It's like, all right, but you're already meeting people on the internet. Like my sister always brings up this great point. Do you remember we were kids in school and we used to have assemblies about the dangers of meeting people online? It was like, never give out your personal information. Don't put pictures of yourself. Don't, because people get like kidnapped and shit. And now it's encouraged.
Now Snapchat and whatever has, well, you can see, I don't know if you know this. Do you have Snapchat either or no?
That was the only one I kept, but when I switched my phone, I just didn't.
On Snapchat, you can turn it off, but if you have it on, literally all your whole friends list can see where you are. Like it gives you your exact location.
So how is that not weirder?
That's weird.
Than the opposite.
I've always had that off.
Like when Twitter first started, that's what I said. I just didn't get it, and I remember saying that to multiple people who were like, "You got to get Twitter, blah blah blah." Everybody's posting. I'm like, posting what? Like, oh, just like, a thought or like what they're doing. I'm like, I need to know what everybody's the thought they had.
Remember back in the day?
People writing this shit down anyway. It's the most narcissistic shit I've ever seen in my life. You think everyone needs to know what you're thinking all the time? You're that fucking special? Ridiculous.
And that's the problem. The world is run by the media, which is run by, like you just said, media literally is narcissism.
Exactly.
Can't even say the fucking word.
And it's funny because it's really the opposite, which is used to promote social media. Like the positives of it are like you can stay connected with old friends and stuff. You graduate school, you move away, like us, you can stay connected. The weird thing is I actually have it's kind of outdated. It's this crazy thing though. This technology where I punch in 10 digits in my phone and I can send letters like text. It's actually called a text to my good friend Matt here, or I can even call him. I can FaceTime
Matt here.
If I want to see his face, like we can do this, what we're doing right now, on the Zoom. And I have that number because we were friends. So that's who I want to keep in touch with. I don't need Jimmy Boo to know I live in Phoenix, Arizona.
What a random example.
Yeah, and
he's actually been on the podcast.
I like Jimmy Boo. For some reason, I don't know why he's the first thing on the bottom of my head. Jimmy, no offense to you. I mean that in no negative way at all. It's just like we never really hung out, right? Like Shay Jokas.
Okay.
I don't care what you do now.
You just randomly decide to name drop you with the high school with? Like, what's the point of that?
I edit. Cut that one.
No, I won't. I won't. Don't. You're not saying anything bad, but it's just funny.
No, yeah, I don't mean anything bad by disparaging. It's like
If anything, that's a good thing that those are the first two names out of all the people went to high school with that popped into your fucking head. If anything, that should be a compliment to them.
Yeah, it should. You know, you guys really stood out. That was really random. I don't know why this too.
But yeah, I mean, the world is run by the media. So, I mean, do the fucking math. The world is run by narcissism now.
Well, let's go full blown flat Earth on this. Explain what you mean by media runs the world. I agree with you. I'm just saying.
Well, because the people on social media and CNN and shit, they're the ones that get all riled up like about this whole Joe Rogan thing and about I'm trying to think of other examples. I don't know. I guess just they're the ones making all the noise about shit that's not that the Joe Rogan thing is not a big deal. I mean, yeah,
it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. But they're the ones getting all riled up about shit that is not that big of a deal and turning it into a big deal to the point where people are getting canceled and getting removed from their jobs and shit. And when in reality it's just like not even half the people not half the people that have any type of context on that matter actually feel that way, but it's just the people on social media that are getting all wound up about it, that they're able to like make this push, and then people end up getting drastically affected by it. You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree. And like, look, we're talking about it now. So that just proves your point. Like, it gets everybody interested in the same thing. And it's proven. There is a great documentary on Netflix. I'm sure everybody's seen it already. The social something.
Dilemma.
The Social Dilemma, I think it's called.
Yeah, I never watched.
But it's the guys who wrote a lot of the code and stuff and created these platforms. And it's not a secret. Like, this is not a conspiracy. The algorithm is meant to give you negative shit because it's proven. If people like something, like a video, a post, whatever it is, if it's a positive reaction, they might upvote it, like on Reddit, you upvote or whatever, or like it on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. What is Instagram, like a heart? They might do that, but they won't comment. Because there's nothing to talk about. Like, there's no controversy. So they're just like it and be on their way. But if they disagree with something, they're balls to the wall, just like this is their new problem in life. Like, somebody across the entire globe in a different country, slapped their dog on the butt because it pooped inside. And somebody in Nebraska just made their life's mission to get this person arrested. And then if you start reading the shit they'll say about these people, if they disagree, like, he should be arrested. He should do life in fucking prison because he's
referencing what we talked about on the phone the other day. Also, the Reddit people.
Oh yeah, Reddit is the biggest cesspool of any social media platform in the world. I guess I don't know if you call it social media. It pretty much is. And they pull videos from all different platforms and put them on there. There's little subreddits. That's the whole thing for each little group. But it is the most hive mind cesspool of any of them I've ever seen in my life. And people are out of their fucking minds. If they disagree with you, they want you thrown in prison for life. Like, that is a common
Sounds like
thing.
A liberal.
Wait, I said you said CNN, but Fox is just as bad. If you ever see, like, on YouTube, the clips,
don't tell that to my dad. Do not say that in front of Greg or your father, probably.
No, he came around, and ironically because of Trump, because Trump, Fox started abandoning him too and shitting on him, and that opened his eyes to, like, the Republican. First of all, the major Republicans, Democrats all want the same thing anyway. That's why shit doesn't actually change every time. Yeah, they're all invested in the same thing. So it's all for show. Like, why are we still talking about abortion? The law is in place. Why are they still debating about it ever? Because it gets people riled up. It gets housewives who are sitting at home watching Fox or CNN say, oh my God, they're killing babies, or vice versa. What? My daughter, she gets raped? You're saying she has to have this baby? Like, First of all, do you really think that's going to happen to you? And why are you even thinking about that right now? We're talking about who's going to be the president. You know what I care about? How much does my gas cost? Because before January, it was like $2.
Gas does not determine the quality of life, Sean.
Yes, it does. It literally
Gas does not determine your quality of life.
Gas literally directly affects me every fucking day. So that's all I care about. If I could vote on just that, I'd vote on just that. Just keep the gas prices down. At least it gives me one thing. It gives me one thing I get to save money on. You hear Biden, what he just said?
No,
he
I can only
literally, his
imagine.
retort to the gas prices and everything is like, well, hopefully it's going to encourage these guys to go out and buy electric cars. Because they've dumped all this money into the electric car manufacturing trying to go electric. By the way, the batteries cause just as much, if not more, waste as the fossil fuels.
Yep.
So you're not doing anything better for the environment. They're propping up companies they're invested in.
Yeah.
And if you think that's a conspiracy, you're the dumbass. It's not. It's like people saying with the vaccine, oh, these QAnon people, they say, oh, it's all a money grab. It's big pharma. They don't even know who big pharma is. Oh, there's companies. There's called Pfizer. You probably got the shot. Moderna, maybe you got theirs. Johnson & Johnson, they're the bad ones now because they fucked it up. Guess who's invested in those companies? Everyone who runs the country.
The narcissists. The narcissists.
They are narcissists. And then they say, no, they can't be money grabs. The vaccines are free. Oh, I'm sorry. So you think the scientists who have worked on this vaccine, who have the highest degrees of most people, you think they're working for free to save your ass? No, it's free. It's paid through taxes. Okay, well, who pays the taxes? Anytime someone says something's free, I just immediately, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Nothing's free. Your college, never going to be free. Somebody else might pay for it. That's not free.
Yeah.
Your healthcare, never going to be free. Somebody else might pay for it. Again, still not free. If you think anything's free, nothing in life is free. The air you breathe, that's free. I'll give you that.
All right, my dad when I was 5 years old. Nothing in life.
It's true, though.
Free.
It's true. I know. I sound like a fucking boomer. But that's why, and now...
especially when you're saying the Zoom and the email and the Instagram.
The TikTok. If you have that opinion at all now, though, people are like, oh, you're alt-right. And it's like, well, no, actually, I agree with most traditional, like, liberal points of view. You know what I mean? I think we should work on a way where people do pay a little more into healthcare who can afford it so that people who can't afford it can actually get the treatment. But you're not addressing the real problem. Why does an Advil cost like $6 in the hospital? Why is it that we pay like 10 times as much for EpiPens than European countries when it's made by the same companies? The same products that we created, we sell to other countries for cheaper. Why? Well, because they're embedded with the health insurance companies.
So you're saying that are you saying that because other countries have free healthcare, which, you know, free, like you said, paid through taxes, those taxes pay for us to ship over medicine and whatever medical equipment at a lower cost? Is that what you're saying?
I don't even know. I'm not smart enough on the issue to understand all of that, how it works and how those governments pay for it versus, all I know is almost every other country in the world pays less for the exact same medical products that we pay, anywhere from 2 times to 100 times more for.
And some of them that you're referencing, we make ourselves and we still pay more?
Yeah, Pfizer, Moderna make these products and sell them to other countries for cheap. I don't know why. I'm assuming it's because, especially in countries where it is control, it's social health care, that the governments negotiate the contract, and so they just don't go for it. In this country, someone much smarter than me could explain this better. So I don't even want to shoot my mouth off and say something that's wrong. But the basic understanding is that we pay more for those products in this country. And the reason, so like when you get sick, if you have health insurance, which they encourage you to get because, oh no, you know, your appendix blows. Now you have $120,000 hospital bill.
My pen exploded? I hate when that used to happen in middle school.
Your appendix. But in that scenario, right, you need to have health insurance. So your health insurance company, you say, okay, well, I'm not the one paying for it. The health insurance is paying for it. So they are going to fight for me and go to the pharmaceutical companies and the hospitals And obviously they're going to try to get the price down as low as possible because they want to protect their bottom line. Here's the problem. The health insurance company is never going to eat the cost. So when those two companies work together, the cost gets passed on to the consumer. So the health insurance company just charges a massive premium on your health insurance. And then you're taking a gamble. Like, health insurance is a gamble. Do you think if your health insurance costs, like, I think mine was like $950 a month, right? If it costs that much, and I have no underlying or pre-existing conditions, nothing like that.
$950.
That's, call it 12 grand a year, right? That's almost 12 grand a year. So then you're taking a bet. Am I going to end up with a hospital bill or doctor bill this year for more than 12,000 or less than 12,000?
Right.
If it's going to be more, I need to have the insurance so that they can pay the extra. But if it's going to be less, then I'm not even going to bother doing it, because first of all, with most policies, you still have to pay out your deductible for 90% of the healthcare you're going to get. Anything outside of like a basic checkup or having a cold going to fucking urgent care. If you need an x-ray, like, I just got another bill. I've been paying for an x-ray I got in August or July of last year. And I get a bill like every 2 months, another $30, another $30. And I called him. I said, I don't understand. How many times am I going to pay for this x-ray? Oh, well, sir, you don't understand. You pay a portion, you have a deductible, and blah, blah. I said, but the balance says I pay the $30. The insurance company covered the $100. Well, the insurance company, we're not your insurance company, sir. We can't explain that. So I called the insurance company. The insurance company goes, well, we're not the ones who created that bill. This is just what we covered. It's a back and forth. And most people like myself get so pissed. I'm like, fucking keep my credit card on file and just charge me whatever you want, I guess, so it doesn't go to collections, you know?
Yeah.
It's all, and they've made it so convoluted and complicated that most people don't even want to deal with it. You know, it's stressful. I hate dealing with it.
So so they don't even send you a total bill? Like, what here's the total, and you're paying a $30 payment right now on it.
They do, but it changes when they send it to me. And then they say, well, this is from the same imaging. And I say, I don't understand how I could possibly be charged again. And it's a convoluted answer again, you know what I mean? And that's a whole different thing. That's just a very specific problem I've had with it. But I'm just trying to give an example of how, because there's so many different parties at play, it gets convoluted. And I understand a lot of people argue, well, if we had social health care and everything was run through the government, then it would make it easier because it would be a central system. And I would agree if the statement that the United States government is the most efficient entity of organizing things. But has anyone ever tried to contact the IRS? Like, the government is the least efficient entity in the fucking world. So, I mean, even if we made it social, it's not going to fix the problem of why we're paying so much more. I'd be fine with social health care if the prices of the drugs were down, because the cost for everybody would be down. The taxes you pay into it would be cheaper. You know, the debate of whether or not we should care about people who, you know, can't afford the health care to begin with, I lean more towards, well, we should help those people out.
But we kind of do, don't we? Like, there's programs for that.
Yes, we already do in major ways. There's Medicare. There is, great guy out here I work with, Tim. He lost his foot, and every single one of his Medicare or medical bills was covered. He didn't have insurance, but he was in a program because, you know, he was low income or no income, and the government made sure that he got taken care of. And like, beyond what he even needed, like he's got this beautiful wheelchair, even though he already had one. They're like, nope, we have to give it to you anyway. You know, they give him new prosthetics and like update it and stuff, all for free. So there are programs, but again, it's so convoluted to look into it. Most people don't care. All they hear is, you're bad because you don't think that you should be paying into, we shouldn't have social health care. You're bad. You don't care about other people who can't afford health care. It's so much more complicated than that, though, you know?
I know people that literally don't get married because the husband makes too much, but they don't want to pay for, or I'm sorry, they don't have a health care plan. So they don't want to pay for health care for two other people, like whatever, a wife and a kid or one other person. So instead, they don't get married, so they only have to pay for themselves, and then the wife and the kid can stay on Medicaid or whatever. Medicare or Medicaid?
I don't know.
I forget. One's for old people, one's for...
I think Medicaid is for old people. But Medicaid, I don't know. One of them, it's not even just for old people. Like, it's people who need extra help. It exists still. It's still a thing. Like, and you do have to go through a long, arduous process to get it.
Yeah, but
just
don't
like
you don't you
anything
have
else
to be
by
a
the
certain
government.
don't you have to be a certain age to qualify for that though, or no?
For one of them, I think, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying.
It's like Social Security. You pay into it. You know what I mean? Like, you'll see it if you look at your
Right.
your W-2 or whatever. It shows you how much goes to each in your taxes. But
I gotta do my taxes.
I mean, that goes into a whole nother conversation, because then, okay, you're paying into this your whole life. And, you know, they've been predicting our generation, there's going to be nothing left in Social Security and Medicare or anything like, or Medicare, whichever one it is, because, you know, they're using so much of it now. There's so many more of us, but really it's also because, well, illegal immigration can be a big problem there. If you have people who come in and haven't been paying it their whole lives, and now they're 70 and they become citizens automatically, where did the money come from? They didn't pay into it. And I know I'm a horrible piece of shit racist for even mentioning that, right? Because that money, it's just there. It's just magic. The government will just print it, right? Come on. That doesn't matter. We can just print more.
It's magic.
We need to help these people. And then we need to complain about how shitty our country is. That's the thought process behind these people. Some people. Who is these people? I don't know. The people I disagree with. That's the thought process behind them. And we would agree on so many other things, you know? I think everybody can get behind, like, let's not
Do we though?
fight stupid wars.
Do we even agree with some of these people anymore? I almost feel like it's to the point where you are not, you can't possibly be left enough.
That is the problem.
Like, that's the problem. Like you are a better person if you're further left.
Mhm.
The more left you go, the better the person. It's like almost like a scale. Like, if you go more left, you're a better person. Like, that's what people think.
And it's a sliding scale, because once you went left, like, for example, Joe Rogan was considered liberal the whole time until like 3 years ago, and
Right.
now they say he's alt-right
Because he likes guns. That's literally pretty much the
he
only
likes
thing.
guns. Because he doesn't just jump on board with this new ideology that, you know, essentially, if you don't believe what someone tells you to believe, you immediately become a bigot, a racist, or whatever, you know? And both sides do it. But the problem is the media is dominated mostly by the left. And the worst part is, like,
Narcissists.
the narcissists, exactly. The people on CNN, like, and Biden, what's that crazy looking bitch? She's got the weird face. Nancy Pelosi. They don't believe that stuff. Look at their policies. They don't believe any of it. They agree with most of the Republicans who are lifers in there too. Whatever brings them the most money.
Right.
That's it. That's the end of the story. Why does anybody care about Joe Biden and all the money he got from Ukraine and China when his son was working over there for Burisma? Why does anybody care? Meanwhile, all I heard about is how Don Jr. and Ivanka are making all this money by working for the president and also keeping the business, and they're illegally doing this and that. Yeah, they were. They're not good people. I'm not saying they're good people. Why don't you care that the next president did the same thing, if not worse?
Because the previous one did it. That's the excuse. That's the excuse for everything.
And then really it's like, because he's on my team. Just say it. Just stop pretending. If you're one of these people who advocate, like, or adamantly supports one side or the other, whether it's red or blue, just admit that it doesn't matter what they do. You just want your team to win. Because you're a tribal human being, just like everybody else, and you've chosen to get all worked up about politics. So if you like the Republicans, then no matter what the Republicans do, they could come out tomorrow and say, you know what? We love abortion. Let's kill more babies. And eventually, not right away, eventually, the Republicans will come around. Well, I don't know if I fully agree, but look at these other policies. You know, it doesn't matter what they do. Like the excuse for going to war. All these people who call themselves Christians were bombing innocent villages and shit overseas for gas. And they all just excuse it because, well, I don't know. They said there was some weapons of mass destruction over there. We got the terrorists. They're coming for us. Oh, my God. You know, they're out of their minds. They'll make any excuse for their team to win. I do the same thing, but I do it for the New York Knicks. That's why we have sports. You know, I'm a completely biased, unreasonable Knicks fan. I'm pissed today because they didn't get Tyrese Halliburton. That's okay. It's a sports team. It's only hurting me. You know, I'm the idiot who cares. But I'd rather put my care into that than things you can't. I don't know. I'm just going on a tangent. Sorry. What was next?
What was next? So I have a pretty grandiose, might be the better word, idea for my bachelor party. But it's kind of far. I would assume you would just fly here and road trip it with us.
Far and you're driving?
Huh?
It's kind of far and you're gonna drive?
Probably, yeah. Dom wants to. I don't really love flying anyway, so I would definitely drive. If Dom,
Don't say Canada.
especially, not it's further than that.
What?
Yeah, it's way further than that.
Mexico?
No, not that far. No, first of all, Canada's not that far. It's only like 5 hours drive.
No, I know. It's just when you say far away, I don't know what you're.
Far
away could
and
be,
it's funny because it's more of a bachelorette destination. It's actually like the bachelorette destination as of late, but
Okay, hold on, don't tell me. Well, is it Nashville?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. We did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You think that's too far?
Dude, I'm in Arizona. I'm gonna be living in Florida when this happens, so I don't give a fuck. Nashville's actually pretty close to Daytona. Justin just drove from Knoxville in 9 hours.
That's right.
To Daytona.
I forgot you're moving, so you probably wouldn't be flying over to New York and then.
If it's Nashville, I'd probably meet you guys. Me and Justin will probably drive up.
Yeah. So, but my thing is that, because I was talking to Dom, and I saw a bunch of. I started just looking at Airbnb and just dragging the map around and shit. And then I saw some really sick houses like out in the mountains, like anywhere, like, you know, New York. I saw a couple in Virginia. And I started thinking, I'm like, maybe the house is kind of in a way more important than the actual location. And I was saying to Dom, I was like, I could actually go for just fucking going to a house in the middle of nowhere if the house was dope enough. Yeah. And just kind of chilling there. And then hopefully maybe we could find some other shit to go do. You know, it might be a little bit of a drive or whatever. And he was kind of like, yeah, I mean, I think people would be down for that. It's whatever you want to do, though, whatever. Then I started thinking about it more, and I'm like, yeah, but it would be fun to go out, you know, into civilization and like actually, and actually do shit too. I don't want it to be so hard to go find something to do if we decide to do that. Especially if we're going somewhere as far as Nashville, we might go for more than like whatever 2 or 3 nights. You know what I'm saying? So like, if we're there for 4, 5, 6 nights, I mean, the house might get old after a while. It might or it might not. So 4, my thing 5, is like
6 nights. You're talking about a week-long vacation.
Hell yeah.
A week-long vacation that's free for you. Motherfucker.
No, it don't have to be free for me the whole time. I'm not expecting
right,
that.
You get 2 nights free.
That's fine. That's fine. No, but I don't know. I was just thinking a best of both worlds type thing might be going to, like, I saw a couple houses outside of Nashville, like right outside, 20 minutes outside of Nashville, that were like pretty sick with a pool and shit.
Yeah, I would imagine there's got to be. I mean, I know nobody wants to come out here, but it's not like Phoenix is that unique. And there are some, like you were saying, there are some crazy ass houses and estates, really. Some of them are like full-blown estates.
Yeah.
Where you can rent them. Like my dad, when he did his golf trip out here, and he had, you know, his work guys and his buddies come out, they rented this place where it was a mansion that had the pool. You know what a grotto is?
No.
Where like you have like usually like a rock feature that creates like a cave in the pool. So you're like under a covered structure of it, and there's like usually a waterfall coming down in front of it.
Okay.
So a pool that had like that, and part of the grotto was it went up so high there was a water slide built into it, and then it had a full tennis court, basketball court. It had a whole separate building that had ticketing booths for a theater. And like you walk in and look like an opera house, you know what I mean? Like a legitimate theater. There's a men's and women's restroom in it. This is a house you can rent.
What?
Really, it's like it's like an estate or like a ranch, you know. But anyway, and those places are, that place was 25 minutes away from any like downtown life you'd want to do. But that's kind of perfect. You know what I mean? Like you can just drive or take a car and go out if you want.
Yeah.
But then you also have like this really sick place so that you can just hang out there and, just hang out with each other.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like it'd be nice to be remote enough to where like we don't have to worry about noise complaints, shit like that. And like you can't really find anywhere with like a pool in downtown Nashville either. It's tough. And if there is one, it's like really expensive,
Yeah, it's probably a smaller pool too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that's kind of like the best of both worlds. And I don't necessarily have to be Nashville. I was just thinking because I always said that Nashville would be a fun place to go with a group because me and Chelsea went there, and it was a lot of fun. But I always said like we got to come back here and bring like a group. It'd be a lot more fun with a big group,
Yeah.
Live music everywhere, And again, I know it's kind of like more of like a woman bachelorette thing, but that might be good for some of you guys who are single. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay. I've never been. I've heard great things. You were talking about how much you loved it when I first was asking you about what we were gonna do. You mentioned it a couple times, and I know you said you would like to drive there. So I'm 100. Isn't that like a 14-hour drive thing?
It's far, yeah, something like that, yeah.
Because that's when we were talking about, Dylan said I think he would just fly rather than do the drive.
Yeah.
But that's up to you and what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, if it's
if everyone was gonna fly, I would just fly. But Dom already said right off the bat, he's like, wherever we go, I don't care how far it is, I'm driving. I was like, okay, then let's drive.
We're going to Alaska. I'm driving. Dom will tell you he's gonna drive to Europe.
No, but I don't know. I think that could be a fun option. Another thing, if we go out somewhere like that, like where there's, I don't know, I guess like remote type activities. Like if we stayed out in the sticks, a couple miles, 10, 15, 20 miles from Nashville, we should try to play paintball or airsoft, whatever. If they have one or the other, I think that would be fun. I want everyone who's there to get tattoos.
Okay, I'm always down for the tattoo.
Unless someone like doesn't have a tattoo yet, then like fine. But I feel
no, they have to get one.
Yeah, maybe that should be a requirement.
Just be like Ryan and put it on your ass.
Yeah. But I think that would also be a fun bonding experience. Us all getting tattoos, all 10 of us or whatever.
Matching?
I don't know. I haven't thought too much about it. I think that would be that would be pretty cool though. That'd be funny.
Yeah, it depends what it is. Although, I mean, I've gotten some bad tattoos, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess
it's not like it's permanent or anything, so
we'd have to come up with something. But if we were gonna do matching, but yeah, everyone's got to get a tattoo. I'm definitely getting one.
All right, but that is gonna be like a whole day affair. We'd have to like call the shop way in advance and tell them like, we got 10 dudes who want to get this thing.
Whenever we booked it, I guess I would probably find a shop or something and then call them.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. That everywhere I've looked, the only thing that's really resonated with me has been Nashville, and I didn't really want to go that far, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Completely up to you, man. I'm down for anything you want to do. I'll help orchestrate it. It would be good though to get like a destination so we can like narrow down, because we have a couple groups, talking about it.
Yeah.
Group chats. But the Airbnbs are all over the place, like Rhode Island, Vermont, which I feel like, because it's not going to be a surprise, like where we're going, right? You don't want it to be.
No.
So we should just add you to the group. I was going to say that, like, why are we talking to Matt about this? It's his party.
Yeah.
And it's, again, you don't want to be just surprised, like blindfolded, taken to fucking Vegas or something.
Yeah, definitely not.
So, yeah. All right. I'll start looking in Nashville for some cool houses and stuff. See what we can find on the old VRBO. Airbnb.
So, have you ever seen a dead body or?
Oh, I have. Unfortunately.
Isn't that from a movie? What the fuck? With the railroad tracks?
Blazing Saddles?
The kids. The kids. The hair on my legs.
I
No.
love it. Jump on my lap.
Wow, I can't think of it.
Oh, Stand By Me?
Yeah.
I've never seen it, by the way. I just know that's the premise.
Yeah. You want to see that? You want to see a dead body? Yeah, that's what it is. But so you have seen a dead body?
Yeah, well, I barely saw him, but we had an incident. We were building the townhomes under my former employer, Diamond Construction out here, a family business. So me and my brother were managing the construction of 8 townhomes near Arizona State University.
Peace up, A-Town.
Yeah. So I forgot you fucking.
Is that what you said though? Did you say A-Town?
No, 8 townhomes. 8.
Oh, 8.
8 townhomes. 2 buildings.
That's funny.
A duplex and then a 6-plex. But anyway, we're building right down the street from ASU. Across the street from the property was this park, which at the time was home to many a vagrant. A lot of legal activity, homeless, vagrants, hooligans. We had issues with people breaking into the project, and I used to have to literally clean up human feces. We were managing it. Like once it was almost finished, and when it was finished, and we'd have showings and stuff because I was a real estate agent too. Me and Tim, he's licensed too, and we were the agents on it. And so we do showings and have these people coming to buy, a $500,000 brand new townhouse, and some person slept in the trash enclosure outside and literally just shit on the concrete and left it. And they leave like napkins that they used to wipe with. There was this big ass dog that one of the ladies had. The dog would take the biggest shits I've ever seen in my life, and they just leave it. So somebody had to clean it up, so we would do it. So anyway, just to give you an idea, it's like a nice area right by ASU, but this one park really drew in a lot of people still, until we finished it, and they kind of cleaned it up. But one day we're sitting in like the garages, and we had a porta potty in the front of the property right off the street. And so, with the porta potties, the porta johns, you get a company called Rad comes out like twice a week or whatever. And they put their hose in the thing and they suck all the shit out. And then they go in and like put some toilet paper and, they maintain the porta potty. Well, one day we get a kid.
They were pimps that ran the porta potties?
No, it's a company that maintains the porta potties.
Oh, you said that they put all their hose in the porta potties. So I thought it was a pimp.
I definitely did not say that.
Yes, you did.
They put a hose to suck up all the shit. All right, Matt. So anyway, we're sitting in the garage minding our own business, looking at our phones while other people are working, really. And this kid who worked for Rad, who cleans out the porta potties, comes running around the corner. And this is actually, we were talking about with social media and everything. This is the perfect example of the most disturbing instance I've seen in my life. First of all, this kid had a smile on his face when he came around the corner. He's smiling. He's excited to tell me and my brother, yo, dude, there's a dead guy in the porta potty. And me and my brother like dropped jaw, like, what? What are you talking about? He goes, there's some dude overdosed, because I guess the guy had a needle in his arm when he found him. So this kid opened the door to the porta potty, right? Found a dead guy. His first reaction, and when he walked up to us, he's holding his phone. His first reaction was to take a Snapchat video of the dead man in the porta potty, run up to me and my brother and show us the video. And we're like, why did you take a video? Is that Snapchat? He's like, yeah, I put it on my story. We're like, the first instinct you had when you saw a dead man was to put it on Snapchat?
That sounds like some shit out of an Always Sunny episode.
Dude, no remorse, nothing. He's laughing about this. Meanwhile, the girl he was doing it with, she was like kind of mortified, And he thinks it's funny. I'm like, bro, he's dead. Like, that's not funny. It's a dead body. I mean, years down the road, I didn't know the guy personally. I think it's kind of funny now to think like we found a dead guy in a porta potty. I didn't put it on Snapchat. What the fuck is wrong with people? Anyway, cops came. You know, they got the coroner or whatever come out, wheeled the body off. They set up like this little police tent around the porta potty. It was kind of funny. And,
So now it's funny.
well, years down the road, but your first reaction, dude, first reaction, you see a dead body is to put it on Snapchat. That's morbid.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that was the story of the dead guy in the porta john.
That's fucked
It
up.
was an overdose, heroin. He shot up a little too much.
Jesus Christ.
Not funny, dude.
The way you just said it, you're like, you shut up a little too much. All right, let's go over this Whoopi Goldberg thing.
Oh, good old Whoopi.
And
Jumpin' Jack Flash, baby.
And then we can wrap it up.
Great Whoopi Goldberg movie. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch.
All right, so 4:30. We'll go to 4:30.
This is the confusion that they're creating, I believe.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that colleges, this all started in colleges and universities and not wanting to make kids uncomfortable. And we talked about it once here on the show with actually Van Jones when he said, if I send my kids to school, I want them to be uncomfortable. I want people to push back on their beliefs because otherwise we're not preparing kids to go out into the real world. We're preparing them for a world that doesn't exist outside of their own house.
Wait a second. That kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, about wanting kids to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree with what she just said.
Right.
She's referencing someone else they had in the show, but
No, but
yeah,
I'm just saying, and I know that has nothing to do with what Whoopi Goldberg is about to say. Excuse me.
Is the Terminator at your house or
Dylon.
is he wearing goggles?
Is he? Oh yeah, he is. I didn't.
Fuck, Dylan.
He goes, "Is the Terminator at your
What are
house?"
you doing, bro?
But anyway, yeah, that's what we were talking about. How
Sketch. I can't. All right, what's up?
I forget. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I'll play the video.
No, you were saying that goes back to what we were saying about how kids should be uncomfortable.
Oh, right, about like learning what is wrong and what's right to say, and maybe not the N word specifically, but
Well, it should include that.
right.
If
And
you want kids to understand why it's wrong, it's going to be uncomfortable. Isn't that the point of why it's wrong?
exactly. Yeah, it just made me think of that. Probably didn't put it.
Well, also, if you're going
Great.
to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about
maybe
race.
it is.
No, they consider
It's
Jews
about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about
Well,
race.
what is it about?
Because
Triple
it's
down.
about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's
Well,
about
but
going
it's not-
after
it's
Jews
not about
and
ideal race.
gypsies
It's
and
But these are two
Romans.
white groups of people.
Well, they
How
go
do we-
after black
They
people
didn't
too.
see them as white.
And they were
But you're
after
missing the
homosexuals.
point. You're
Yeah.
missing the point.
Yeah.
The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody eats each other. So
Italian,
is
she's gonna say.
if you're uncomfortable, if you hear about mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say, oh my God, I wonder if that's me? No, that's not what they're gonna say. They're gonna say, I don't wanna be like that.
Is that music? Them going to break?
I want to be cool.
Yeah,
And
well,
Meanwhile-
yeah, most kids, they don't want to be cruel.
No, they don't.
And we're living in an era where people are comparing vaccine cards to the yellow stars, where people are comparing vaccinations to what Anne Frank went through.
Yeah.
So it is necessary for
What's with the
kids
music?
to learn about the
They have
Holocaust.
by the way,
they're trying to, like,
humanity
wrap
to
it up.
man,
But
however it
they just heard what
exposes
Whoopi
itself.
Goldberg had to
I just
say.
want to say that Mouse was banned and it flew to top 20 of Amazon's rules last week.
Welcome aboard the Disney.
Whoever is producing that show heard that shit and said, whoa, guys, pull the music, come on. The Holocaust wasn't about race. Am I right? Am I right?
Wow.
Oh, I love how she tried to pull it back too with her. It's about humanity and what man does to man. Like, well, that's everything, though. You could say the same thing about slavery. That is about humanity, what man did to man. It's also about
Race,
the color of the
yeah.
skin of the people. Also, Whoopi Goldberg, you just justified people who say that Jesus was white by calling every Jew white. Okay, you must have seen too many pictures of white Jesus, because Jews from the Middle East, they don't look like me and they don't look like Matt. Okay?
That's crazy.
Not your generic white folk. I look a little bit more like them because that's my ancestry, part of it.
What?
I have Jewish ancestors.
Is that why your dad always says, I love the Jews. Those are my people.
That's his people, yeah. Yeah. My people. I have the map. I didn't have time to hang it up before we started. I forgot to do it yesterday. The map of Prussia. Most people don't even know Prussia was a country, but it was.
Which was where?
Current Germany. So during the second
Reich,
Reich, you know how World War II, Hitler was the Third Reich?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Second Reich was in the 1800s, around the same time we were fighting the Civil War. And Otto von Bismarck, leading the Second Reich of Germany, was trying to unite the German states. And Prussia, included in that, was taken over. Overrun by the Germans, you know. But I had our relatives were from Prussia. Relatives, my ancestors, some of them were from Prussia, and they were Jews from Prussia that got moved out, if we will. But then the next guy came along and he did such a good job of what he was trying to do. We forgot about the second one. It's like, that third try, they were really close. But it wasn't about race.
I can't believe she said that. That's pretty bad.
It wasn't about race. It wasn't about having blonde hair and blue eyes and Aryan Nation. No.
I've never seen that video before. And then she got canceled for that. And what? She came on and apologized, and now she's fine because. Never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
Not even so. She did. I saw at least the title of a video was that her apology. I didn't even bother watching that. But she got suspended for 2 weeks, and apparently she also complained about that, which I didn't care to watch either. I don't really care about Whoopi Goldberg or what she thinks about Jewish people. I just thought it was hilarious that she had the balls to say that on a show like The View of all. Because by the way, The View is probably the epitome of horrible, just nonsense garbage modern day TV. Like housewives or stay-at-home husbands everywhere watching The View. You should really take a break from everything for a month and just see if your life changes at all. Because that shit is horrible.
Yeah, it's not about race.
It's the most, I don't even know. I mean, come on. Imagine you said that about slavery. It wasn't about race. It was about the plight of man against man.
See, I've always heard people talk shit about The View, but I've never actually watched it. I don't even think a snippet of it. Like,
No?
I never even heard about that shit.
I mean, it's impossible to sit through like an episode right there. I've never really tried. But
So who is there? I guess like you just said, I was gonna say who is there?
generally middle-aged women who are stay-at-home. Either what's the term for like? There is a politically correct term for a homemaker. People who say, and sometimes guys, I'm sure, watch it too. But it's all women on the panel. So I'd imagine it placates more to your middle-aged moms, really. Not that all women in their middle age stay home and watch The View. No. But there is a lot of them. The show is popular. So anyway, I'm going to get myself in trouble here, but that's my takeaway. Whoopi Goldberg, yikes. Yikes.
Well, how long ago was that?
You should be on Yikers Island, huh?
How long ago was that?
What, she said that?
Yeah.
Like a week or something?
Oh, really? Was that recent?
Oh, yeah. This is really recent.
Oh, no shit.
That's why we were talking. I was like, well, might as well be topical,
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg. She's in some trouble. We talked about Joe. Can we just talk about the fact, though, also with the Joe Rogan thing, the White House addressed this? Can we just... Joe Rogan is being, like, what is it, the White House press secretary or whatever?
What did they say? They're trying to...
Discussion. Oh, because they're not censoring enough. Like, they said, don't you think... Jen Psaki, she's like the lady who does she's the White House press secretary.
Yeah.
And one of the reporters was like, do you think... Because Spotify, I guess, put... warning labels on Joe's podcast that have like doctor. They put the warning labels on the ones with the qualified doctors talking about the pandemic.
Warning what?
About misinformation.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I swear to God. Because
but CNN doesn't have to put warning labels on their fucking everything that they show.
No, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for the public to hear any opinion that is not shared by CNN. And that includes Fox. Unless you're Fox, that includes CNN. And those are the only two opinions anyone can have. If you have an opinion that disagrees with both of them, oh, no. Go just fucking dig a hole and live in there. Pick up that rock and crawl underneath it because your opinion is not welcome here, okay? Not in these United States.
Dude, he can't get canceled.
I don't think so. Everything that we described with, like, we were talking about politics and healthcare and all those controversial subjects. Joe Rogan is the most moderate, like, subjective person talking about those things. He always has been. That's why he's so popular.
Yeah.
He listens to people arguing both sides. He brings them on his podcast. Lets both people argue. He will argue back when someone says some really stupid shit. If he doesn't know what they're talking about, he outright says that. But there's this weird idea.
And he also always says, "Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot."
Yeah, he said, "I'm just a dumbass."
And then you got CNN who are fucking certified idiots, and they don't ever say that. They say that it's what we say or you're wrong.
Exactly.
Rogan welcomes other opinions.
I think the real problem with all that is this idea that it's dangerous for people to hear something in general. This idea that, like, we need to protect people from even hearing, even if it is untrue, even if it's false information, that we need to protect people from hearing it. That's not freedom of speech. That's not freedom in general. Like,
dude, putting these warning labels on our last episode in the story that I put up on Instagram, we had mentioned something about COVID in the snippet that I put up, and it had the label on it. It had the label for real COVID 19 and vaccine information. Please make sure you visit whatever. Like, it had the little warning thing.
On Spotify?
No, we don't. We're not on Spotify for video. I'm talking about the Instagram clip that I posted.
Oh, no, I just didn't know which platform put the warning on.
Oh, yeah, Instagram.
So what, somebody at Instagram listened to it and said, oh, they're talking about COVID?
No, I think it just automatically screens it. Like, if it knows if you say...
Here's the
I
word.
think the app itself, like, can sense that, you said the word COVID or whatever.
Yeah. So I wonder, let's try it. We should put this snippet up. What could we do? AIDS isn't real.
That's not going to work. That's not going to work because it's not COVID.
That's fucking
not topical.
That's the stupidest shit ever. Okay, the common cold. Something about the common cold. I don't know. What's something ridiculous about the common cold? The common cold's going to kill you. Flu shots. Flu shots are
Sean,
GPS
that's
trackers.
what they're already trying to push in the media, that the common cold.
Flu shots are GPS trackers that the government is injecting into you. Then they know everything you do now. Every time that you jerk off, everything you do. So
I love that. I love that the people that say that the COVID vaccine is just a tracker. I'm like, you have a cell phone, right? You have an iPhone with every single app known to mankind on it, right?
I know those people are probably the worst of them all. Like,
you
really believe that?
You already have a GPS tracker,
right? No, it's fucking stupid. Also, why do we call a flu shot, not a flu vaccine?
I don't know.
You have to get the flu shot every year. You have to get a booster for the flu shot. It doesn't actually protect you completely from getting the flu.
What's the booster? There's a booster for the flu shot?
Yeah. So if you get a COVID shot, vaccine.
I guess the flu shot booster is the shot you get every year, right? It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a booster shot for the flu. Well, if you do that, I don't do it because I'm not going to die from getting the flu. But also, COVID is a version of like a cold or the flu is a SARS COVID, right? Yeah, that's one of the first things we learned about it. So it's just a different variant of that to begin with. So it's a flu shot. That's what they're advocating for. It's just a new flu shot.
And now we're going to get pulled off YouTube again.
You don't even get sick. By the way, for anybody who thinks that I'm the crazy one, I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Every day I smoke a full pack of cigarettes. And I got COVID. My lungs felt better. They felt crystal clear when I had COVID. I had a migraine and I lost my taste and smell. The smell, that fucked with me. Because you can't, taste is like 90% smell anyway, you know what I mean? That drove me nuts for like 3 weeks, but I was fine. Didn't even need to go to the doctor. I was actually just more upset that I had to stay home, which I did. I did stay home for the sake of humanity. I protected all of you because I am a great person.
And that, folks, is not about race.
Oh, shit. Oh, that shit's ridiculous.